So for several years now, we've all been anticipating what's next from Behringer as it relates to X32 and potentially Midas M32. About 2 months ago, Behringer had a cryptic post that hinted at what they have been working on. They've sold over 700,000 X32s, probably close to 1 million plus items when you consider X32, M32, and all of their I/O boxes. So he simply says, do you think we can do it again? So that started all the talk online about, okay, they are getting ready to announce and release the next version of the X32. So a few weeks later, they started doing some teaser videos, and the first one was very limited in information. It's, as you can see, just one orange light. That second orange triangle is just a video effect. Imagine this is called a wing because of the shape of this mixer. And we don't know if that's the mixer or just the touchscreen. And at that point, we don't even know it's a touchscreen. But moving on, the second video, not very informative other than it has a lot of icons, and those icons are the same ones that have been shown in the X32 version 4 firmware upgrade. So again, we can assume it's going to be a mixer. Video 3 comes out, just touchscreen, hand swipe. So now we're really thinking it's a touchscreen mixer. At this point, we all realize it's not going to be another synth. That's been another big theory. And finally, the fourth teaser video clearly shows a touchscreen multi-channel mixing interface with recording, EQ, lots of different effects, channel naming, compressors, delays. And the screen right here is probably the most telling. You can see that we can configure 40 channels plus 8 auxes, 16 buses, 4 main outputs, 8 matrix, 16 effects engine slots. So that screenshot's pretty telling. And then we see a DCA configuration here where you can assign 40 channels plus aux and buses to a DCA control. And this screen is the one that I found the most interesting because it reveals a couple input options that we've not seen before. So we have local input. It's one thing. If this is a 48 channel mixer, we can almost be guaranteed it will not have 48 inputs on it. That's just not the way that consoles are being designed now. And it's also a waste of money for the buyer. You know, we don't run 48 channels at front of house. So the local input would probably be limited. Let's say 8 to 12 there, plus say 8 aux ins. But the biggest thing on this screen is stage con. Since it's an input, we're going to assume that's stage connection and not stage control. That makes you wonder how closely related that is to AES50 and what other devices are going to have stage con on it, since no other existing device has that. We see Wing Live. We can assume that's going to be just like the X Live card and a multi-channel recording card. And finally, we're shown that the new device is Wing. In order for Behringer to have created the next great thing, what would they have to do? We think it's pretty simple. We put a poll up. What do most people want out of the next X32? And here's a picture of that poll that we just started. It's 48 channels, so more channels, one-to-one patching, touchscreen, multi-band EQ and compressors, more effect slots, more mix buses, custom layers or banks, more effects, and the lowest price or best value in the industry. So the lowest price or best value in the industry is exactly what Behringer is all about. So what would be the best value or the lowest price in the industry for this new Wing console? Going back to 2012 when the original X32 came out, I think it was $29.99. I would imagine that this could be the exact same price. We always get newer, bigger, better products 5 to 7 years later at the same price, as technology has always allowed that. The only issue is, what would that do for the X32? If it's going to coexist with this and not be discontinued, which we don't think it will, maybe the X32 stays at $19.99 and this comes out for $1,000 more. If that's too good to be true, it could be, up to $39.99. So I think the pricing is going to have a lot to do with how amazing this mixer is, because it's always been Behringer gives you the most for the money. So we really do believe that the price point is what's going to give the Wing its wow factor. So the other things that we simply don't know are, what this thing looks like, what the physical controls are. We can see that there are some buttons next to the touchscreen that look real similar to what X32 looks like, but we can clearly see on that hand swipe there are a lot of LED strips down below, which is what that looks like. So that screen is reflecting a lot of things down on the surface. We assume there's going to be 1 or 2 more teasers, so maybe in the next few weeks we'll know exactly what this is and hopefully have pricing details. If you want to keep up with all this information, please join our Behringer Wing user group on Facebook. We've almost got 2,000 users in the first couple of days, so it's definitely the spot to go to if you want to find out more about the new Wing. Be sure to check out our other videos on our YouTube channel and subscribe.